Bull or bear tonight? Let's take a look. It's a bull. Good evening. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in lovely Lauderdale By The Sea. Got the live deer field cam up. Man, look at all the bait out there. Just saw a fishing line stuck down at the bottom, but lots of bait, lots of fishies out there hanging around the pier. And hot day, man. If you live in South Florida, it's like, I'm telling you, it's like walking on the sun. I went outside and I was ducking into the local businesses on the way to the Ace Hardware, which is a block down from our store here. I was going over there to buy some stuff, and I stopped by, maybe not just because of the heat, but I stopped by the local tackle store, T&R Tackle, down the street, talked to them a little bit about fishing. It looks like we have mutton snapper season coming up, so I might be going out this weekend. I'll let you know. Well, let's take a look at the prices this week. I'm going to talk about a few things. I'm going to talk about what the best deals out there. Premiums on some gold products have gone up pretty dramatically very quickly. Price of gold and silver seems to have stabilized in this area, but the week's not over. Let's see what happens. Meanwhile, my quote of the day, which is, recession is when a neighbor loses his job. Depression is when you lose yours. And that supposedly was said by Ronald Reagan, but I also read on another quote, it said Truman, so Harry Truman. So honestly, I don't know who said it, but it is quite an astute quote. And that's very true. Nothing hits harder than when you lose your job yourself, when you're home, when your income is just kind of stopped. And kind of looks like we're heading that way, folks. So I believe we're already kind of in a recession right now. I don't know what a depression looks like. I'm hoping that we don't go into a depression-like mode. Of course, all our vision, my generation even, I'm a late baby boomer, so even my generation doesn't really have a clue what a depression looks like. I went through the inflationary period of the 1970s, but I don't think you could have called that a depression. I believe my grandparents saw a depression. I don't believe my folks saw the depression, but my grandparents certainly did. And it was a whole different environment, so I just hope we don't see a depression here coming up. Fiat currencies and the way these politicians and central planners have screwed things up so badly. I've had a couple times in my lifetime where I felt we were going to see one soon, but so far they've avoided it. But gosh, it's the greatest bubble of all time right now, folks, man. They've created some of the biggest bubbles ever. But let's get into spot prices right here before I start rambling on about these bastards. So, 1736.27 is the current spot price. As you can see, it looks like they were trying to knock it down to that 17 level. But even if we see sub 17 level, which I don't know, it just seems like they're cutting it down. They knock it down $10, it goes back up at $8. They knock it down $10, it goes back up $7. It's like a little bit at a time that's been going down. That's especially true with gold. However, we did see a big rebound. Silver. I'm sorry. We did see a big rebound in silver from that low. And let me not say a big rebound. Silver typically travels in those quarter to 50-cent increments. It's not uncommon. And when we were seeing silver really bouncing around at one time, we were seeing dollar moves. So you have to have a strong stomach if you're buying silver. If you're a newbie and you're new into buying silver products and stuff, silver can be quite volatile at times, and it's really tough, especially if you bought in at 23, 25, $30 an ounce, or even higher. But no less, don't worry, be happy. This soon too will pass. Take a look at platinum around 1856. I think these metals are somewhat stabilized at the moment, and could they go lower? Sure they could. But the interesting thing is that I think there's going to be definitely product availability issues, and we're starting to see that in some gold products right now on the retail level. And remember what I'm talking about, not a shortage of gold above ground, not a shortage of silver above ground, but available product that you can buy. All right, that seems to be getting more limited in some of the gold products. We'll talk about that in a moment as well. But we're trading, it looks like, again, above this $19 range, 19 quarter at the moment. And it looks like the market opens in 43 minutes. And let me take a look here. Yeah, 23 minutes. All right, I just refreshed that. But 1736 1924 and 1856 in platinum. Still, in my opinion, really, all three of these metals, platinum's been on sale for a while, but especially, it's on sale another $50 in my opinion, from where it was. Gold's on sale, silver's on sale. Silver seems to be really on sale consistently for the last year or so. But you can't complain if you can buy the stuff cheaper. And there's one thing that we know for sure is that, listen, you can bag on gold and silver all you want. You can say, well, listen, it hasn't gone up a lot. It hasn't, hasn't done real. In fact, it's come down, quite a bit. Not quite a bit, but gold off its high is what, I don't even know, 10%, $170, 15% or something like that. And silver's off even higher from its, we're off what, 30, 40. Silver was probably 30% higher in the, 2020 at $30 per ounce mark. But again, look at the other. There's one thing you'll know: you'll never wake up and find out that your gold and your silver went bankrupt. That's just never going to happen. Platinum as well. You're never going to wake up and hear it's worthless, it's zero, it's bankrupt. It's not. It's just not going to happen. You could wake up at any given day and see that particular crypto, a particular stock, even a currency. I mean, because how many fiat currencies has the history been through, all right? But history has never gone through gold. History has never thrown gold to the side. History has never thrown gold under the bus. Historically, as far as prices go, gold's never gone to zero and never will, more than likely in our lifetimes for sure. And the lifetimes ahead of us, I'm pretty certain myself. Not, if they survive that long. Silver the same way. So silver's on sale. Gold's on sale, in my opinion, these prices. But again, looks like premiums are starting to creep up there, and we are starting to get some availability issues. Let's take a look at the 24-hour charts and see what we're doing here. And let me take a sip of this. It is the evening report, so it is definitely a wine report, not a coffee report this morning. Excuse me, throat's a little dry there. When I talk for long periods of time, I get that little thing in my throat here. Forgive me for clearing my throat here right in front of you. Okay, that certainly made it better. Take a look at this. The monkey hammering on gold occurred in the New York Crimex markets certainly after opening. That looks like 8:20 is the opening. There's a shaded area right there, probably around 9 o'clock or something like that, 8:45. And rebounds up quickly, surpasses where it went. Probably has something to do, again, this right here, this bounce up has something to do with the Fed CPI numbers today. Coming in hotter than they expected, for certain. And silver, we're going to probably see the exact same pattern. I haven't even looked. I've been pretty busy. Breaking in a new employee today. Like to congratulate Maria. She made it for one day. She's one of our new employees here. Just figured I'd let you know if you're a local customer or you're going to be a local customer. Take a look at this. Silver, not so much, kind of sideways in that $19 moment, but it looks like around the same time gold took off, silver took off with it. And I suspect it has a lot to do with the CPI numbers that the Fed released today. Expected, but again, I don't know. I can't explain anything that happens in the Crimex markets here. It doesn't make any rhyme or reason to me. All I know is that we're going to be up at some point here, folks. Best deals out there. Gold 1 ounce Eagles are not it. Premiums on gold 1 ounce Eagles look like they've gone up about $30 higher. The wholesale, I believe I was saying the other night, my cost was like $80 or $85 wholesale, give or take $5, all right? If I need to go out and buy them from another dealer or distributor or something like that, I think it's I think it was in the $80, $85 range, maybe a little bit cheaper. What the asking price is, that has shot up about $20. Currently, the ask price wholesale is around the $105 range. Bars have not changed. It looks like 1 ounce bars and cards are still really the best way to go when you're buying gold. What's the next best deal? I'd have to say Krugerrands if you want to buy a sovereign product and something round. Krugerrands are the best deal. My cost is around plus 50 or so, give or take a little bit. And of course, in small quantities we go $45 over. And as you know, if you visit our store, we advertise to beat Atmex, JM, and SD Bullion, all good companies. But if you live in South Florida, we'll also beat the locals too. And of course, you live in South Florida, we're the go-to people when it comes to precious metals and rare coins and some other things as well. If you don't live in South Florida, I always say, man, buy local. Find yourself a good local dealer. It's really, really important to keep that money local. Not that there's anything wrong with APMEX, JM, and SD Bullion. Great companies, big companies, and they do deliver. But your local dealer should be able to beat those prices. And you keep that money local, like I said. For all you local South Floridians that are some of my customers, I even do business with some of my customers. You know, some of my customers have small businesses and services that I've met through my business that actually do work for me, and I buy things from them as well. The local fish market where I bought some snapper tonight, some snapper fillets, was a customer of mine. Gosh, he passed away recently, but the fish peddler, Burn at the fish peddler, what a great guy he was. I think I can talk about him. Passed away recently, but you know, he bought a lot of, I shouldn't talk about what he bought, but why not? He was a customer of mine, and he liked buying shiny stuff too. And you know, and I'd go down there and I'd always buy fish at his shop. The guys at T&R Tackle around the corner from me buy stuff as well. A lot of people buy gold and silver, so I'm not like saying anything as a secret here. I'm not giving names or anything, but I spend the money back at their businesses as well. So this is the importance of buying local. I told you on gold what the best deals are and what's gone up in price. I still think bars are the best deal. Next to that, Krugerrands are the best deal. And then maples would be after that, but it looks like even the premiums on maple have gone up a little bit. Krugerrands are going to be $8 cheaper than maple leafs, if that matters to you. But bars are still the cheapest. But man, prices on gold eagles, I'm wondering if they've stopped production on gold eagles or something. Something's really going on. Buffaloes as well. They're just, you know, premiums are crazy. I'd avoid them right now unless you can get a good deal on them, which I kind of doubt. You know, your dealers out there, you know, most dealers are smart. They're not going to undersell this stuff. They're going to get what the current markets demand, and I don't blame them for that. What's the best deal in silver out there? It is certainly not 90% or U.S. Silver Eagles. U.S. Silver Eagle premiums have gone up again. It looks like that you could trade your Silver Eagles if you get enough of them for 100 ounce and 10 ounce and kilo bars. And wow, you can actually put more silver in your pocket. So again, if you got silver BU maples, I've made this call a couple times. Some of you have taken me up on this and probably taken up your local dealers and done well. I think I remember one of you guys saying that you traded 500 Silver Eagles and you ended up with 600 ounce bars. What a sweet deal that is. And you traded in a premium for real silver. So good time to do that right now with your local dealers. Again, you got to at least have 100 ounces or more to really make it pay, folks. I'm not trying to be snobby or anything, but it doesn't pay in small quantities, but in larger quantities, you should be able to go out there. And if you got 500 Silver Eagles, like I said, turning that into more silver, that's a great deal. I'm not sure if you can turn it into 600 ounces, but even if you can turn in 500 Silver Eagles to 550 ounces of generic or something like that, you're getting more silver. Get rid of the premium, keep the silver. What else is a good deal out there? And silver, not much except one, you know, again, kilo bars, 100 ounce bars, 10 ounce bars, and then 1 ounce bars in that order. 90% is too expensive. Silver Eagles are too expensive. All right, let's move into JPMorgan right here. What's going on with them guys? And before we get into the rest of the video here, JPMorgan Gold Desk spoofing, cheated markets. Of course, you know, last Thursday, 3 JPMorgan traders have gone on trial for spoofing gold markets. We've known they've done this all along. These traders are probably responsible for killing the 2011-2012 bull market in gold and silver by spoofing them down, spoofing gold down and silver down dramatically. Illegal, manipulative, criminal behavior. That's why they're on trial right now. But oddly enough, Jamie Dimon and his henchmen, the freaking CEOs of these companies that really made the most money, have thrown not really thrown their traders under the bus. I bet you they're probably paying for their lawyers' fees, but no less, the CEOs of JPMorgan won't go to prison. They made billions of dollars. They're going to pay fines for this, and likely they're going to get these guys out of jail because, of course, JPMorgan, too big to fail and too big to what? Too big to jail. But I hope that changes here. JPMorgan Chase, the company's gold trading sales team, was so focused on making money that they scammed the market for years with so-called spoofing trades. And most of you, if you don't know what spoofing trades is, just stop this video real quick and type in spoofing trades on Google, and it'll tell you everything you need to know. And let's continue here. According to a former colleague who testified at the trial of the 3 former bank employees charged with fraud, our job was to do whatever it takes to make money, and using spoof trades to manipulate prices for all sorts of precious metals was an almost daily method for generating profit, said John Edmonds, who worked as a trader at the bank until 2017. Everyone at the time did it at the desk, and it worked. So this is widespread fraudulent behavior, and folks, we still have this going on in the silver markets, at COMEX, CRIMEX markets. They're still spoofing silver. They're still manipulating it. These big commercial banks and these big commercial traders. But anyways, I digress. Let's finish the rest of this. And why? And I don't know. I think they have a risk reward ratio here. And I think if they feel that the fines won't be that big or the profit's much greater than the fines, then they go ahead and they break these laws. So let's continue here. That's what they're doing now in the silver markets, I believe, as well. Edmonds is testifying against his former boss, Michael Nowick, the longtime head of trading, gold trader Greg Smith, and hedge fund CEO Jeffrey Rufo. Edmonds told a federal jury in Chicago on Tuesday that the team wasn't buying and selling precious metal, but systematically cheating to help themselves and their top clients over the course of a decade that Edmonds worked as a trader. Edmonds described how he learned to spoof at JPMorgan, all right? If he wanted to sell at higher prices, he'd put orders in above the current market prices. Then he'd place a huge order to buy at a higher price that he'd cancel before they could be executed. I wanted to drive the price where I wanted it to go, said this cheating MFer, creating a false indication of demand, he said. While the techniques didn't always work, it was successful enough that everyone on the trading desk used it several times a week, Edmonds said. Folks, this is not made up shit. This is fact. This is not conspiracy. This is fact. If you don't think the gold and silver markets are cheated, and by the way, don't let that discourage you from trading gold and silver, because it's solid. If you got the real stuff, you don't have to worry about these paper cheating motherfuckers, all right? And I said it, I'm sorry. If we wanted to buy low, we could, he said. If we wanted to sell high, we could. Edmonds is the first of a handful of cooperators slated to testify that prosecutors say will bolster their claim that Nowick, Smith, and Rufo participated in racketeering enterprises from 2008 to 2016. Edmonds was the first on the precious metal desk to admit to crimes and secretly cooperate against former colleagues. My hat's off to Edmonds right here. You, sir, I got to hand it to you. Even though you were involved in the crooked behavior, I was going to call you a hero. No, you're anything but a hero. But you did the right thing. You did the right thing. Anyway, Edmonds pleaded guilty to conspiracy and commodities fraud related to the spoofing in 2018. They probably gave him lesser charges because he's being a witness against the other guys. Traders on Nowick's desk engaged in spoofing as a core business practice. Core business practice, folks. Doing it more than 50,000 times over nearly a decade, prosecutors allege. And prosecutors aren't making that shit up. They're absolutely correct. We've seen it in the market for years and years and years. Though the jury will only hear about a tiny portion of those, lawyers for the 3 said the government's case is based on misreading of evidence. Of course. That's what the CME group tries to say about these collusive shorts, but let me go on here. And the reliance on witnesses like Edmonds who are testifying in order to obtain light punishments. If convicted of all charges, the 3 face decades in prison. Good, I hope they get it. But you know what? Kind of and kind of not. You know who should get those prison sentences? Jamie Dimon and his fucking henchmen should get those prison sentences. Absolutely not the traders. Not the traders at all. The traders are thrown under the bus. But for some reason, I think JPMorgan has got the judge and the jury paid off in Chicago, what most crooked fucking state or city in the country, one of them at least. And I shouldn't say that, but I have no faith in these people. We know that judges and juries are paid off. I shouldn't go there, but hopefully justice will be served. These guys will go to prison. And if there was real justice, the CEOs of JPMorgan would go to prison as well. However, as I've always said, too big to fail, too big to what? Jail. Let's read this rest of this here. I saw people trading for 20 years doing this, Edmonds said. How could I not do it among a member of the team? The use of spoofing techniques was expected, he said, adding that he watched both Smith and Nowick execute spoof trades to fill client orders at favorable prices. This was common practice at JPMorgan, folks. This was common practice allowed by the CEOs of JPMorgan. And again, this is why I doubt that these guys will be convicted, because if they're convicted, you know what's going to happen next? JPMorgan is going to be in the spotlight because they were their traders. They should have been responsible for what their traders did, and hopefully they will be held responsible for what their traders did criminally as well, in my opinion. Edmonds said he never reported anyone for violating the bank's. Get this. Edmonds said that he never reported anyone for violating the bank's compliance policy on trading. When asked why not, he said, "I would have been fired. This was my dream job." All right. So these traders are being thrown under the bus by JPMorgan, when in fact, like I said, the CEO should absolutely fucking be in prison, folks. These scumbag motherfuckers throw these poor guys that are doing the trading under the bus while they made fucking billions. It's criminal. It's just wrong. And I think I'll calm down and take a deep breath here. It's a good thing It's a good thing Jamie Dimon and these guys aren't walking by the front of my store right now, because I'd go out and I'd punch them right in the fucking face. Oh, wow. I said that. All right. Maybe not. But you know what? These are criminals. They really are. And that's me having a daytime fantasy of walking out there and punching him square in the face. But anyway, that's just me. Again, folks, that's satire. Okay, let me have another sip of wine and I'll calm my ass down. Give me 1 second here. Prosecutors on Friday described the trading desk as a small area with no walls or doors, where Nowak, Edmonds, and the others sat shoulder to shoulder, just a few feet from one another. Lucy Jennings, a Justice Department fraud prosecutor, told the jury that everyone on the team could see and hear what everyone is doing. David Meister, a lawyer for Nowak, told the jury that Edmonds was eager to please, but that his trading skills didn't cut it and his job was eliminating. Edmonds was notable even among the JP traders. At times he placed orders as much as 400 contracts on the opposite side of a genuine one. Wow. And again, folks, this poor kid, these poor young guys are going to go to prison possibly. If not, their lives are ruined because of the scumbag mother effers, Jamie Dimon and his fucking henchmen CEOs that should be in prison. You know, if I was a trader and that bastard did it to me, I'd be waking up I'd be waking up in Jamie Dimon's bedroom at 3 a.m. I'd be waking him up. Jamie, I'm here to see you, just to have a nice talk with him. That's all. All right, anyways, let me move along here. These, really, folks, at some point you got to fight back with these scumbags, all right? And I really do hope that what I've been saying mostly about that kind of stuff, that's joking, not mostly, that's joking, but the passion that I have that these bastards, these CEOs at these big freaking corporate banks should be in prison, especially in instances like this, that's real, and I really believe that they should be in prison, and I'm expressing this in a weird kind of way, but that's the way I feel. Early on Tuesday, jurors heard testimony from Christopher Jackman, a consultant on Monument Economics Group LLC, was hired to analyze CME for $1.4 million to analyze CME data. And listen, there's the other effing criminals that need to be in prison, is the CEOs and the people that run the CME group, because they have allowed this shit to happen on their bourse floor, on their casino floor, in their marketplace. They have allowed it. They're as big as scumbags, in my opinion, as Jamie Dimon and the big corporate banks that do this kind of shit, all right? And if they do it in the gold and silver markets, you better fucking guarantee that they do it in other markets. Wow, man. This stuff just gets me angry. Sorry about that. Jackman described an instance in 2010 when the CME data showed Smith placed buy orders for 5 gold futures. And the CME knows this stuff, man. They have the data for this stuff. And they know what freaking happens. They've been alerted to it so many times. I hope the CME group goes down with these bastards. But again, CME group, like JPMorgan, too big to fail, too big to jail. But again, I hope there's some young prosecutors out there, I don't care if they're leftist or what, that go after these sons of bitches for the criminal shit that they've done and continue to do. But anyway, let me move along here. At the time, Smith's sell orders represented more than half of the visible book order in the market. Jackman said prices fell. Smith scored his 5 buy orders, then canceled all 174 sell orders before they could be executed, all in the span of about 3 seconds, Jackman said. In data, from January 2012. Folks, if you wonder why the 2012, and I knew this, I knew it was a takedown. That was the beginning of my true suspicions that markets were highly manipulated, was the takedown of the silver and gold markets in 2011-12. It was so in our faces. There was no explanation for any of it. And it was clearly one of the largest con jobs in the COMEX markets ever. And again, CME Group people and the people in these big commercial banks that did this, allowed this to happen, not their traders, should be in prison. They should be buried underneath the fucking prison, all right? And again, this does anger me because it's just plain effing crookedness. Jackman said after prices rose, no echo, but anyway, that's the rest of it. Good article, read it at gat.org. Considering that my blood pressure's up here a little bit, I'm not even going to go into most of this stuff. I'm not going to talk about this freaking moron right here that has never met a war that he didn't mind seeing your kids die in or someone else's kids die in. I'm not going to talk about, where can I go after this here? Let me find someone else to pick on. There's an idiot right there. I'm not going to talk about that idiot or the other idiots out there. I'm going to move along, be real calm, and go into deep breath. Yesterday's video, which was silver at 1800s, gold at 1700s. And again, in my opinion, I don't think we're going to see much lower prices. So I'm going to answer a few questions here, folks, because I got to grab a bite to eat here. Let me do another sip here of this red mix, which I happen to like. Trader Joe's, man, they do make some good off-the-shelf wines. Okay. Let's see here. Inspanduda asked me a very interesting question. I think I've been asked this a few times. How does your shop sell when market is down, you're losing money? It was every 24 months at 19. Even if the premium is $4, you're about even only. I have a very unique, I'm not sure if it's unique, but it's something that's worked for me for a number of years, is that, throughout these markets, from $50 down to $17, I hold a specific amount of ounces. And I have written it up and down throughout the years. I've increased that pile over and over, but I hold a specific amount of ounces of silver. My goal has always been to increase the amount of silver I own over a course of time. I don't care about the yearly and day-to-day price fluctuations up or down. What I do is I maintain a certain position or try to make that ounce position grow. So I will sell silver at, say, for example, if I bought silver at 25, I've got that many ounces, number one. But if I sell an ounce of silver, 100 ounces of silver, 1,000 ounces of silver out of the store here, out of my inventory, I immediately replace it. I replace it immediately because you don't lose unless you sell. So what I do really is I just maintain the number of ounces of silver I have. And if I sell silver out of here, when I sell silver out of here, I buy it back immediately at the same price. Of course, we make a VIG, so to speak, or a premium above what we pay for it. So I make my money and I replace the silver at the lower price or whatever lower price I may be selling at. And the same thing happens at the higher prices. I just maintain the number of ounces that I had by constantly replacing them at the same price as I sell them. I hope that makes some sense. And that was a good question. Thanks for asking in Spadanuda. And have yourself a great day. What's up, Jennifer, Michael, Silver Chief, all you folks? Let me see. What's Silver Chief say here? Silver Chief says that every metal guru's mantra are in unison, all in agreement, saying the same thing since 1978. I don't know. We haven't had metal gurus since 1978. Howard Ruff, though, you did have some newsletters back then. Silver and gold are radically manipulated. Yeah, they have been for a long time. That's a fact. No argument though. So why put your money in any silver gold that has been blatantly rigged your entire life? Because there's a couple reasons you do that, Silver Chief. First, you have what you call, it has a track record. And we know that it's been manipulated. We know that it gets manipulated. It's usually in $5 increments. It seems like they drive it up $5, they move it back $5. This happens over a period of time, then it changes. And I actually really believe that's about to end. But then again, that's my opinion. But of course it is. All markets are manipulated. Oil market, your housing market, the car market, you name it. All markets are manipulated. Elections are manipulated, in my opinion. But if you don't play, you can't win. And what's the point? What are you going to do? Just not play any games, not play any market, and just lose out? The best games to win in are the games that even a rigged game, if you know how the game is rigged, you can win. All right, that's the whole point of this. And you're saying all folks are losers in metals. That's not true. I've made a ton of money in metals, and not, of course I'm on the dealer end of it, but if you're buying metals to make a lot of money, you're in it for the wrong reasons. The get rich folks out there. You can get rich or you can lose it all, and most of the time you lose it all. But there's no get rich investments out there really that you can. If we knew how to get rich quick, we'd all do it, folks, and that's a fact. Precious metals, if you look at it as a get rich way to do it, or you're going to make a lot of money in a short period, then you're in the wrong market, absolutely in the wrong market. I have always said, and any smart metal guru, as you mentioned, should say it's about wealth preservation, and it has done that extremely well in the course of history. Silver Chief. Let's see what else you say here, and just look at the data, or listen to Brian and everyone else on planet Silver is a scam, period. I'm sorry you feel that way, Silver Chief. Don't worry about it. If you bought silver at 30 and 25 bucks an ounce, I know how you feel right now. You're probably really pissed off and disappointed about it. Get the F out of precious metal. Quit playing their game. I have to disagree with you 100%, but I really appreciate you watching. I just think that, it sounds like you got some big disappointment here because it hasn't done what you felt it should do and the way you should have felt it do it. And when you do find out things are rigged, man, it's like finding out there is no Santa Claus. But once you find out there's no Santa Claus, you can kind of rig the gift situation. Pretend to your parents you still know there's a Santa Claus and tell them you want this or this. I don't know. There's ways. Every market is rigged, sir. Relax. If you don't play, you can't win. Hey, that's pretty cool. Keep stacking, sir. And Tree Climber, yeah, the last horse at the glue factory. That's the U.S. dollar for sure. In my opinion, I think we'll be the last horse at the glue factory. Paul Wilson, Tree Climber, Wega Paul, what's going up, dude? Silver Wolf, Linda Compton. And I'm not sure what that is, but I'm betting it's probably spam. Not the spam you eat. By the way, some of you are going to laugh, but when I went to Costco, I was thinking, what kind of foods last a long time in case there was some kind of emergency or hurricane in Florida? Spam. I've got like a case of spam. How long do you think it would take one person to eat a case of spam? Put that in the comment section, I think. And if you didn't have any heat, what's the best way to eat spam? With some, I don't think I've had spam in 40 years, but it looked like a good way to get calories, and it looked like it stays good for a long time. Okay, I don't even know how I got there. Silverliner, what's up? Yep, silver's up. Euro's falling apart. Clayton, Rusty Rabbit. Should buy us an $18 silver buy. It's kind of funny, but we're going to see inflation, and one of the areas we have not seen inflation in is in the silver markets and the gold markets. But trust me, folks, they're highly manipulated markets. Gold market, again, on big central banks worldwide, the Bank of International Settlements. There's nothing that makes the U.S. dollar look worse and world currencies look worse than climbing gold prices. That's a fact. Even Alan Greenspan said that, what did he say? Rising gold prices is like he didn't say kryptonite, but something similar. It's like kryptonite to central bankers. And he said something similar. I forget what it was. But anyways, keep stacking, guys. Don't worry about it. It's a good place to be. You're never going to wake up in here when broke. And, another remove here, another spammer. $2 Chuck, man, flight attention by the... are you talking about my wine, Trader Joe's? Buy it by the case. $2. Is that what it cost over in California? I guess I'll move there just for the Trader Joe's wine. Hey, thanks for commenting, Hooch. Celtic, what's up, man? Coins, I like that. That's pretty... dry humor. Coins that think make sense. Har, har, har. Thanks for watching, Celtic. And Alex, there goes another, that looks like a real name, another removed there. Yeah, I get angry when I think about them crooks. Why not? I mean, at some point, you just got to call them out like you see them. And at some point, you know what I mean? I'm a passionate guy when it comes to people getting screwed, and I'm sick of it myself. Thanks for watching JTBSK2 Liquid Electrum. Keep buying, sir. Keep stacking. The one thing, again, I can promise you is you'll never wake up and hear it went broke. All right, folks, that's it. This is Brian Kuzma with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. And as I always say, think for yourself, question authority. Most of all, before you think for yourself and before you question authority, question yourself. Question what you think you know, because it may not be, your opinion may not be your own, determined by you. It may have been given to you by your parents, by local news, by schools, by whatever, by your government, by your leaders, all right? And it may not be your own. So re-examine what you think you know. You may not be correct. And the smartest people out there are the people that admit that, or actually go out and reconfirm what they believe to be the truth is. So as I say, think for yourself and question authority. Have yourself a great evening. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. I don't know where our website is. I think I actually turned it off. But no less, we'll close it with this quote. Hey, have a great night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.